Sam's Club plans to open a new store without checkout lines. According to CNBC, Sam's Club is opening a club that will have no checkout lanes, will display online-only items, and will have a larger area for fulfilling e-commerce orders for curbside pickup and home delivery. In this new club, which will open in mid-October, customers will have to use a smartphone app called Scan and Go to ring up their purchases as they walk through the aisles and then pass through a computer vision-based archway to leave the store. In the area typically reserved for cash registers, the company will instead display online-only items as wide-ranging as a 12-foot Christmas tree and a 5-carat lab-grown diamond that members can scan QR codes and go straight to those items in the app. I think there's even a Mercedes like G-Wagon or something, right?
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, some type of SUV. I don't know if it's a G-Wagon or not, but I'm not super familiar with the Mercedes line because it's a little outside my price range.
Now you can be. Store workers will also have about 4 times more space for preparing customers' e-commerce orders for curbside pickup and home delivery, according to Sam's Club executives. Chris, I know you love this new store concept from Sam's Club, but just how much do you love it?
Well, Anne, have you ever seen Spinal Tap?
I have.
Yeah, I'm an 11 on this one.
You're 11. Turn it up to 11.
I'm turning it up to 11.
Sam's Club's new store in Grapevine, Texas.
Yes, I love it.
Right.
For a lot of reasons. I think, one, unlike Amazon Go, the setup doesn't require inflexible merchandising, which we'll talk about later for sure. But more importantly, the overall setup that is being tested has already been tested with great regularity throughout Sam's Club's chain. So, for example, Scan and Go adoption is 30% chain-wide.
Yep.
And in May, Sam's Club said that it planned to roll out the automated archways, the computer vision archways that scan your cart and correlate it to your receipt.
Yep.
And that they're already going to plan to roll that out to all stores by the end of the year. So the only big difference here with this store is that Sam's Club is taking the audacious stance and saying, you can't shop this store any other way. That's what's new here.
Yeah.
And, Sam's is also forcing, it's similar to what they did with Sam's Club Now back in 2018. The only difference is the archways.
Right.
Right. And so this is what's new about it. So I don't know all the puts and takes involved in this, but to me, it's a logical extension of kind of the next iteration of Now as a concept store idea. And now they're bringing this Grapevine store online, which is now a second concept store idea. And for that, I applaud them. It's a great way to do innovation and to learn what the more technically affluent generations are going to want from a warehouse club experience as you go forward. They're only going to learn from this, and they're going to get better at what they do.
For sure. And I think that one important thing to point out here is that Sam's Club is uniquely positioned to do this in a way that I think most grocers are not. And that is because they have members. It's a membership-based club. So they can require that you shop this store a certain way. And I think that that's an advantage that they have. And again, to your point, is definitely worth testing. But I think it fits this overall theme here that we keep hearing about, at least I keep hearing about at grocery shop, where yes, you may have to shop with, the Scan and Go app or the Caper card from Instacart, but there's enough incentive now for the consumer to pay this off. And I think that's what's starting to change here with some of these required shopping tactics that we're seeing deployed by grocers and clubs.
Yeah, that's a great point too. The last thing I'd say on this one, I think the headlines are potentially giving this a little bit of a disservice too. The emphasis on the checkout free nature of the store,
right?
Because I think what Sam's Club is really doing here is they've created a first truly personalized digital shopping experience where they can understand everything that's happening in the store, where the customers are going, what they're scanning, what they're putting in their cart, what they're leaving the store with, and that's the power of the data. And they're also, don't forget, earlier this year, a headline we didn't cover on our show, they're piping retail media into the Scan and Go app, which is also going to be very powerful. To your point about keeping track of your budget as you're in the store. And the last point I make, and I think this is really important, they're way ahead of Costco on this.
Yes.
Like Costco hasn't even sniffed in any of these directions. And so when you think about this 10 or 15 years down the line, then it becomes really powerful.
Yep.